Welcome to the Spire Sessions, on an online series where our Spire leaders talk about interesting developments, trends, and opportunities in hot industries. I'm Marie, and in today's session, we have with us Dr. Justin Lee. Dr. Lee is an expert in Korea silver industry. He spent a year putting together his findings in a book, and he's gained recognition for his knowledge of the Korean senior and elderly care and the elderly industry scene. He has been featured on many TV news and news articles on the subject, and he's our very own Spire's K-pop. Dr. Lee, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, Mari, thank you very much for introducing me as like a K-pop star. Well, so today is just I want to talk about the Korea, particularly two things. One is the low birth rate and the aging society, and how the retired people are living here, and what could be the opportunity for the developer, particularly the overseas people inside of the Korean market. And these two words, like low birth rate and aging society, is nothing new. And many countries, particularly Asian countries and European countries, they are faced with those those things. But why Korea is so special or dramatic? Because the figure is so dramatic in Korea. If we look at the birth rate in Korea, last year in 2020, the rate was 0.92. Maybe you may think, oh, that's quite low, but how much is low? 0.92 is lowest in the world among 198 countries. If we look at, if we compare this figure to the European country like France and England, the birth rate is around 1.6 or 1.7. And neighboring company, Japan, 1.42. So the low birth rate is so dramatic, and maybe you might be, many people could be curiosity, why particularly Korea, the birth rate is so low. So two things. One is they are all working at the working place, had no time to raise their children. And second thing is the marriage age is getting late. So when they start the marriage, it's still a bit old, 31. That are two big reasons why the birth rate is so low in Korea. So nowadays, in older days, about 20 years ago, about 75% of the elderly people, they were living with the children, but nowadays it's opposite. Only 25% of the elderly people, they are living with their children. Then in that case, some of them thinking of the senior welfare house. So senior welfare house is different from nursing home. Nursing home is the place for the unhealthy people.
Right.
But senior welfare house is a kind of like a senior resort. Well, I suppose this senior welfare house, there might be some other country too, but different format. In Japan, usually what I understand, the senior welfare house is a small scale. And in the Australia and European country, this is not the, that country is a larger land, so it's more like a townhouse style. But in Korea, senior welfare house is look like a condominium or apartment. It look very similar.
It sounds like a resort from what you
Yeah, that's right. So some senior welfare house, they call themselves like a senior resort. Look fancy, you know?
Justin, I'm curious. Can you tell us more about the silver towns? Like, I understand they're like tall buildings usually, but How many are there? Are they usually like full? Are they oversubscribed? I just want to know, are there opportunities for developers to go into South Korea?
That's a good question. This Silver Town, the number is around 30, 10 inside Seoul, 10 just outskirts of Seoul, 10 in other cities. So in 2014, seven years ago, I extensively studied this Silver Town and visited every Silver Town, and I published this book, very thick.
A very thick book.
Yeah, 700 pages. At the time, not only in Seoul, but in other Silver Town, there are some vacancy. So anyone wants to go there, sure, they can go there. They can go. But nowadays, just I recently studied again, and all Silver Town in Seoul, they all full.
Wow.
So,
okay.
And even outskirts of Seoul is as well. Maybe some area in countryside, they have some vacancy, but generally speaking, the 30 Silver Towns are fully booked. And even there are waiting list. So for the last 7 years, it has been changed a lot. And if we look at the number, the 30 Silver Town can accommodate only 5,000 people. But if we look at the number of elderly in Korea, about over 65 years old, about 7 million.
Wow.
So if we take just 1% of them, it's 70,000 people.
Yes.
So the 1% people, they are rich, and they are willing to explore or go to the Silver Town. And also the other opportunity is the rich elderly people. They are looking for not only inside of Korea, but they are looking for the overseas like a silver resort. So Korea is like a 4 seasons. So sometimes the seniors during the cold winter, they want to stay in the very warm country. So quite a large number of rich people, they have like a sort of second house or second resort in the Southeast Asia, particularly like Singapore and Malaysia and the Philippines. So often they stayed there for like 3 to 6 months, then back to in Korea. And also according to one bank survey to their VIP client, about 50 to 60% of the client, they are interested in retire in overseas. So in short, we have like more than 7 million elderly people. And Korea is not a poor country. The elderly people, nowadays they had a lot of lessons to their parents, so they don't want to give all the money to their children. They want to keep it.
They have to keep it, yes.
Yeah, and they know that the life expectancy is not 60, but over like 80 or 90. So they want to keep the money. Then they understand more about the like a silver industry, including Silver Town in Korea, and also the overseas resort. So it could be a good opportunity for the developer who develop a kind of a Silver Town in Korea, because it is fully packed. Many people are waiting. The other one is they develop like a senior resort in Southeast Asia and attract the Korean people.
Yes. Actually, I think there's also a lot of potential in that for a lot of countries, because I know that a lot of Koreans like to golf. So,
that's right.
That could be one way of attracting them to, if they don't retire there, at least live for like short term of 3 to 6 months, just, golfing, staying at the resort for that.
Yeah. So in this video, you can see my appearance in the TV and news. So I'm the one of the most well-known expert in the silver town in Korea. So if anyone who are interested in the silver industry, particularly silver town and senior welfare house, I'm the right person to contact.
Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, thank you so much, Justin. So that's all the time we have for today. We'll see you again. There's lots more to talk about. And for our audience, please do drop us a line if you have more questions and if you'd like to speak to Justin about anything Korean at all. So we'll see you again. Goodbye, everyone.
Okay, bye.